Hi gang, here I have this sort of travel journal that I gave you a quick glance at a few days ago when I put together my journal kit video. And I make them with nice paper and Stonehenge paper. Some of the pages have these smaller tabs on them. It's a real simple 5 pamphlet stitch, a 5 hole pamphlet stitch. There you go. So you can decorate the front of this with anything. The front is just one of the pieces of paper, and then just get right to journaling. So let me run through the supplies that you'll need for this little journal. First thing is, this will be included on the PDF, which will be over at my blog, and this book is based on a one sheet of 30-inch by 22-inch paper. So I've used Stonehenge, and a lot of what they call the parent sheets of paper come, this is a pretty standard size. I like to use a heavier paper and one that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg, so I use Stonehenge, which is a nice printing paper. This diagram will show you, you just cut the 22 in, in half, and then make these cuts. And you can probably take it to Staples or just use an X-Acto knife if you don't have a paper trimmer. So the other things I will be using are, I like to use waxed linen. This is probably a 4-ply or a 3-ply waxed linen. You'll only need a small piece. I use a tapestry needle size 22, which has a dull point so it won't pierce your paper. I have a bone folder. You could use a butter knife or a side of a scissor. I have an awl that is slightly larger than my needle, and that's important so that you can get the needle and thread through the hole. I have a pencil. I have an X-Acto. Can you see this stuff? An X-Acto, a metal ruler, extra blades. You could also use this binder's thread. I get this in, it's a lot thinner than the linen, the waxed linen, but you can wax it yourself if you find that easier. It doesn't come in colors. Let's see. I have a catalog that I will use as a punching awl. Could be a phone book. I just happen to have a nice thick catalog. I have a template, and I'll show you how to make that. And let's get at it here. So I've gone ahead and cut my paper. Oh, I have some paper clips here too, and a corner rounder. These things are kind of a bear for me to work with, so if you have a good corner rounder, let me know. Anywho, let's get to it, hey? So here's my paper cut, and these are the smaller, the end cuts that will make the tabs, which of course I can't find right now. There's one in the journal, okay? So I'm going to set those aside for the moment and see if there's any more hidden in here. I'm going to go ahead and decorate with color one of my sheets of paper. Seems like I should have 2 of those. Oh, there are 2 there. So you'll wind up with 2 sheets of small paper and 6 sheets of the 8.5 by 11, which is 8 sheets altogether, which is, I don't know, plenty of paper. I'm not doing math right now. Math is not good right now. So let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get some color on here real quick. Okay, back. Paper is dry. Super simple technique. I'll link Diane's video for you on my blog again. I'm not sure if I do it right, but I guess there's more than one ways to do that. So I've got my pile of large size papers. I'm just leaving my smaller size papers set aside for the moment. And all in one go, we're going to fold this in half. We're going to have some push from the interior of this book, as you can see, but we're going to take care of that. You can see the push forward pages, and that's okay. We're going to take care of that. So you just want to go ahead and give it a good fold with your bone folder or whatever tool you're using on both sides. Okay? Now these sheets I'm going to fold. Wait a minute. Well, that's cool. I could actually cut these in half. I think that's what I might have done the last time. But you could leave them full and fold them from here, but I'm going to cut them in half. I'll be right back. We've got our paper folded, and I'm going to go ahead and put a T on every page of this, including the front page. You don't have to watch me do. So T indicating top is on each page. Okay, so I'm just going to insert these where I feel like it. Wherever I feel like it. I'm just going to lay one of these in here. My math skills are really weak lately. That comes and goes with me. Some days they're better than others. So I've got the shorter pieces all in there, and I'm going to go ahead and bone fold this once again. The shorter pieces will have a different sort of a crease on them, but I don't like to fold them all together because I'm not sure where they're going to end up. And again, if you bone fold hard enough, you're going to wind up with this spine. I don't know if, I hope you can see that, but it's like 1/8 of an inch, which would be kind of a bear to measure, so I don't do that. I just do it like that. Okay. Let's get some paper clips on this, just to hold things steady. I just use one at the top and one at the bottom. I have my template made, and all I did for this was measure down about 1/2 an inch. I just eyeball this. I always just eyeball. Up 1/2 an inch, some square in the middle, and a hole between these two holes, and a hole between these two holes. So you wind up with 5 holes. Just eyeball it, except for the top and the bottom, I would say. And you can take the middle up a little bit. I think that looks usually better than down from the middle. So, got that all set, ready to go. Open up my voting catalog here. In that goes. This is a great temporary cradle. Now when you're holding your awl, I've said this a million times, hold it in the palm of your hand, and you want to go straight. You want that awl to be perpendicular to the punching hole, and then just screw down gently on it and you'll get a nice hole. You want to take it in there a little ways so you're not struggling with that needle and thread when it comes time to sew. Okay, make sure it's the gutter to gutter here with the template and the spine of the book. I'm hoping mine's lined up, because not a bad idea if you're new to this to put a couple more paper clips to hold that template in. Okay, done. Cut. Okay, let's get to sewing. This is a simple stitch. I have a bit more thread, actually a lot more than twice the height of the book. I was very generous, but about twice the height of the book. Oops, everything came with me. Okay, my needle, and a neat tip for, let's see if I can grab this so you can actually see this. Just take your bone folder and flatten the end of the thread to get it to go through the needle hole. And these Tapestry 22s have nice sized holes. So you're going to take that in a little ways. No knot on the end. Single thread. So, you know, if you're stitching, you know, if you're making hand sewing, you would want to double that thread up, but as in embroidery, in bookbinding we use the single thread, so just leave a bit here, no knot on the end. You can start either in the inside or the outside of this. You start square in the middle. Okay, so we're going to pull that right through that middle hole. Okay, and I'm just going to hold that in place there and snug it up gently. Okay, now I'm going to go up one hole and sew out. Gentle snug up to the top hole and sew in, down again. And here's the only little trick, is that once you get, you're going to get past, you're going to go right past that middle hole this time. We'll catch it when we come back up. So in, I think I actually have a DVD, I'll link that. I think there might be a Doceri whiteboard presentation on this. Okay, so you're just doing in an intuitive manner. Now we're going, we came out the bottom, we're going in the top, and I'm snugging as I go, just gently pulling at the thread. Okay, now we're going to come back up into that middle hole. Okay, we're going to go on the other side of the thread. So we've got one end on one side of this thread, and the other end is going to come up on that side. Okay, just gently, again, gently pull, and we're going to just tie it off into a square knot. Left over right, right over left. And this can be pushed into this hole. If you really want to hide the knot, it's best to do it on the inside. I'm going to trim off this, and your book is done. That, my friends, is it. Now, I will take it a bit further here. Because of this push out here. I can never remember the official term for it, but that's what I'm going to call it. Alright, now this technique takes a little practice. Not going to kid you, but I'm going to trim down right along there so it's nice and neat like this one. Okay? You can see that's all lined up. So I am going to use a very sharp, brand new X-Acto knife for this. Let's see here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my metal ruler and line it right up to the edge of that cover. And then I'm going to swipe. This is such a bad angle to do this. Let me see if I can move myself and still allow you to see. You want one finger at the top of this ruler and one finger at the bottom so that it doesn't pivot. And you're just going to go along that ruler, gentle swipes. whatever it takes. Okay, so I'm just going to make swipe after swipe until I've got it down. And there you have it. Now, I've probably done 100 of these or more, so mine come out pretty good. But practice, right? Practice. So now at this point, I'll take my corner rounder and let's see, I'm going to actually splay this open so my corner rounder isn't. I just have to stand up to use a corner rounder. I don't know about you. But you should have a fairly square corner. And that's it. Just go through all your corners. These last two steps, of course, are totally up to you. But I think it just adds, for me, it just adds that extra something to my book that I really like. It's this square, it's the rounded corner that gets me and might have gotten you. So that is it. Simple technique, and I hope that you enjoy it. Certainly, if you have any questions, let me know, and I will put the links for Diane Revelry's stenciling with sprayings technique, and I'm pretty sure I have a dossier, a whiteboard presentation with the 5 pamphlet, which I'll also link on my blog along with the PDF. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Make lots of journals.